All right. Good morning, everybody. I want to thank you for coming, even though it's a public holiday. We're supposed to be enjoying our rests, and you still found time to come around. We sincerely appreciate you for this. And like I told you, as we said last time, we're not going to spend so much time today. So two major things we'll do here is to ratify, if I call it that word, what we deliberated upon in the last session. So we're able to extract your deliberations and revise that draft that we looked at. Now, what is missing, like some of you have observed, is the objectives. I've not been able to marry them with identify under the implementation strategies. There was no time to do that, not like, because I was even surprised that Anne could get them out for me. She assured me she was going to get I told her to let me just screenshot. She said, don't worry, that she'll get it typed. 2 a.m. I got it. I couldn't believe it. So I had to start work. Effected the corrections, because the observations, I think there were 2 pages. So I had to get that one out, studied, to now begin to effect corrections on the draft. So I couldn't really impute objectives under the implementation strategies as you mentioned, but we'll be able to do that after now. So what we want to do today is to skim through. If you still have any observations, just note them, and then we'll take it up from there, so that we'll ceremoniously adopt this document. You know, we still have a process to go through. By the time we finish this, going back, and as a team, we still have our work to do, and then the university has its own work. This document will go through SCAP. SCAP is an acronym for Senate Committee on Academic Policies and Programs. It's after it has been approved as SCAP, it will now go to Senate. It's Senate that will now stamp it. It now becomes a working document for the university. So that's the process. So what I want you to do now is maybe we'll take like 5 minutes or so, skim through, and see if there are other things, including the objectives. Just still, if you have to write whatever, just write. Mention what you think is still needed to be imputed in the document. So we'll take like 5 minutes to do that, and then we can deliberate for another 10 minutes or 15, and then we'll be good to go. So if you have any observations, you can just show. Okay. So if you have any observations, please just indicate and let us know. And please don't forget the attendance, please. There are 3 different sheets. Please ensure that you sign on them. You have
5 come before 4.
Just note it. Which one?
All the definition of terms.
The preamble. It depends, actually. It should even be in some other ones. It's somewhere. Some have it at the beginning, some at the end, depending on how we want it. Well, he is of the opinion that the definition of terms could be at the end. So I was letting him know that in some other instances it could be at the beginning, after preamble, after, it depends. There's no hard and fast rule about it. But if we want it at the end, we can, just like glossary of terms, it could be at the end. So we can move them, since it's just definitions. So just note it. Nkechi, please, you have to be taking notes. So, where is Precious? Hasn't come. Emily. Okay, it's traveled. Oh. Oh, you can contribute. But.
Good morning, professors here present, my colleagues. I remain Dr. Ifeoma Agbo from Faculty of Law. I'm at the preamble. Starting from the beginning, let me read and then make my observation. The University of Port Harcourt affirms its commitment to creating a gender-equal campus, knowing full well that gender equality and the rights of the person to be free from discrimination are enshrined. That is what I'm adding now. That is what I'm suggesting now. Are enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as fundamental human rights. And at that point, I put full stop. I said, are enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as fundamental human rights. Then I put full stop there. I continued by saying, the University of Port Harcourt is firm in the belief. What I added now, and I started with the University of Port Harcourt, is firm in the belief. Aside from that, the next paragraph, which is, sorry. No. Except, yes, is firm. Then the paragraph that said, knowing that a truly inclusive and equitable university, I started by saying, having a fundamental and uncompromising commitment that a truly inclusive and equitable university community, as in what you have at the end of that paragraph, I started with it. No, that first paragraph. I'm still at the first paragraph, sir. And now, I started with where you have knowing that a truly inclusive and equitable university. I started by saying, having a fundamental and uncompromising commitment that having a fundamental and uncompromising commitment that a truly inclusive, I now continued with what you have. Commitment that a truly inclusive and equitable university community is only possible when gender is valued, respected, and is given its proper place in the composition of the gender components of the university community, full stop. Then for the second paragraph, where we have, in support of the university's commitment to addressing historical and current gender, I think the other day we said we should try as much as we can to avoid inequality and equalities. That is that as a term. So I now suggest, why not we use disparities? It still means the same thing without raising a dust. After that, still on the second paragraph, line 3, which reads, it recognizes the subjective nature of gender and strives to be a platform where everyone, irrespective of their gender, gets the opportunities. Instead of "and" there, I suggest while biases and stereotypes are challenged and broken, because we are not conjointing what we said with the biases that we are erasing. That's why I suggest we use while instead of and. Then the third paragraph, I suggest that instead of expressly starting with this policy is in line with, I said in recognition of national and international frameworks, because we are in line with them because we recognize them. Sorry? Okay, we don't necessarily need to mention them. The international frameworks, they are already there, and it will equally enable us to accommodate others as they come. Previously, we had only UDHR before the international covenants. Now we have CEDAW, and there are lots of them. So just having international framework there, I think it suffices. Then, relating to gender equality and sustainable development, this policy outlines the university's strategic objectives. What I just added there is this policy after inserting a comma. Then in our last class, I think we agreed in respect to the health services to remove comprehensive and find another appropriate adjective. You said? Adequate, which we suggested adequate. No, it's not intervention. Intervention is there on its own. We are talking about the comprehensive health services. Comprehensive should be changed to adequate. Yes, still on the third paragraph, second to the last line. Then the fourth paragraph is where we need. Okay, ma'am. Okay.
The report pathway should be very clear.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe after that stereotype report pathways. Are we all there? Hello?
Yes, I'm seeing where you are.
Yeah, the same line, the second
Yes,
to that last line on the third paragraph. If you say combating gender stereotypes, the reporting pathway should also be part of it before adequate health services and providing for mentorship and networking across gender. Is that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there we can add combating gender stereotypes, formidable reporting pathway, adequate health services, and the rest. Is to show how strong it's going to be, how strong and confidential. Yes, the level of commitment from the university. That is why I suggest we should add the adjective formidable. Remember, it's a suggestion. Yes, yeah, after stereotypes, we should having a formidable. You will make your own suggestion later. Okay, thanks for that permission to continue. Then in the first, second, third, the fourth paragraph, which is now going to be emphatic. I suggest that we start with the word therefore, comma. This document is not, because that is the paragraph that is showing our seriousness. This document is not just a policy. Then I continue. Okay, let me just read what I have here. Therefore, this document is not just a policy of intent, but also a framework for what needs to be done and subsequent continuous improvements. The University of Port Harcourt gender policy is a living document that will, what I have here, I said, that will be examined, assessed, and updated periodically to guarantee that it is applicable. Yeah, is where after the periodically or as the need arises. Yes, but the periodically should be moved from where it is to down.
Exactly, because as the need arises, because there might be time when we will need it. You understand? So why capture it? Like, let it be there's a lacuna there. Yeah. It's already been captured as the need arises.
And there also, we need not wait for the specific number of years we mentioned if there is an exigency that demands change. We said periodically or as the need arises. Okay. Where is it? Will be examined, assessed, and updated periodically or as the need arises to guarantee that it is applicable, blah, blah, blah. So guarantee its applicability. Okay. As the need arises. Okay. Now, under the objectives, the bullet number, I did not observe anything on the policy statement, ma. Under the, that day. Okay, objectives, look at bullet number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After the bullet number 9 that says to provide intervention for the survivors, the 10, to provide intervention for who? I now suggest to victims of sexual harassment and gender-based violence, and offenders should be made to face law. There I changed it. I'm suggesting offenders should be held liable or accountable.
Yesterday we said the offender, the culprit should be brought to book.
Should be brought to book.
Are you through? Sam? Okay.
I said yesterday we mentioned should be brought to book. Day before yesterday, sorry, day before yesterday. So I think we should maintain that language should be brought to book. Let's not focus on the offenders. Should be made to face the law. Let us focus on should be brought to book.
If they face the
As
law,
agreed the
then
day before yesterday. Now we are looking at language. We are looking at the language here. They are facing the law, yes. I agree they are facing the law. But let us make use of that language to ensure that we are being more focused rather than because some persons see the use of language as being focusing on a particular gender. When people talk about culprits being brought to book, their focus is on the male gender. But if we use brought to book, anybody, it can be the same sex.
Anybody can be anyone.
Let me enlighten us a bit. When we come to sexual offenses, gone are the days that sexual offenses are being perpetrated by only male. Because now even the instrument of the sexual offense has changed. The object has changed. The subject has changed, because with the VAP law and VAP law applicable in Rivers State and VAP Act as is applicable in the Federation recognizes that even pen can be used, even dido and all that. Therefore, the object and subject of sexual harassment has automatically changed. While we are looking at language to be made to face the law and to be held liable or accountable is, the other day we agreed that this thing is going to be an international document. When you say that let them face the law or let them be brought to book, and when you say let them be held accountable or liable, which one is more legal? Which more will linguists be more prone to address?
Should be more liable, or should be brought to book? Should be more liable. Should be more liable.
Well, whatever you say, I think they are all referring to the same thing. If you say law, you bring in the person to book. If you say liable, you're bringing the person to book. If you're saying accountable, you're bringing the person to book. But I have issue, even that day we had that issue of bullet 9 and 10. To provide intervention for the survivors of reproductive rights abuse for all genders. We had issues there. And then immediately after, you're not having to provide intervention of sexual harassment and gender-based. I think we needed to tweak it, because when we say provide intervention for survivors of reproductive health rights, is it reproductive rights? Well, so how acceptable or how known is it to the people out there? Because we know what we are dealing with. Now, even though we agree that reproductive health rights is a very important aspect of gender studies, but here we are looking at sexual harassment and gender-based as part of the reproductive health rights issues. That day we had that argument. It dragged on for a long time, and we said just keep it pending, that we'll look at it when we meet as a group. So what's
Okay. In Nigeria, in Nigeria, one of the reproductive rights that is highly abused is sexual. And insofar as marital rape is not yet criminalized in this nation, I don't think this objective will achieve much. I don't think it will, because it's still a movement that is ongoing, but there is no law on it for now. The only thing you can do is to bring an action under assault to person, but autonomy, body autonomy, and being free from sexual harassment for people that are married is not an offense in this country.
We are not dealing with them. You see, look at the context of where we are. That's why, thank God I'm also here, because that bullet 9 and 10, we must look at it very closely. But barrister, I don't also want to let us agree that a spatial rape is not. That's what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is just that we don't talk about it. If somebody is confident enough to talk about it, it will be followed up. It's just that we don't talk about it. It's believed. In fact, is also enshrined within our system. Now your husband, person marry you. You know, all those kind of, beclouding and reducing statements. I don't think, but for this policy, I'm just looking at that bullet 9 to be downplayed. Let us deal with bullet 10. Yeah, that's why I say yes. Because that day we had a lot of time. We spent a lot of time dealing with that issue. Yeah, for this policy, I'm thinking that we deal with the sexual harassment and gender-based violence. We agree. That's why we are trying to say, we are trying to see how to tweak the two to make sure that they fit into our context. That's what we've been talking about since that 2 days ago. How to tweak it in such a way that it captures the message but fits into our system or our context. Yeah, that's why, so that it conveys the message, but it captures the or conveys the message you want to convey. So look at how you come, barrister. Yeah. Hey, let me tell the barrister. I have one barrister today, law school, and I released the result for night. The newest mama of the barrister. So Uniport did what? Uniport did what? Yes. So you see, the newest mama doctor in town. Man, I don't mind you. I have 2 lawyers here. The exam they took in November, you releasing it in April. As educationists, there's no objectivity in that assessment. I want to say that result is not genuine. Yes. You see, this law, the way people are twisting us in this country, Yes. There's no I don't want to. Yeah.
Okay. One more thing I want to mention is that in all this, okay, please, I don't know if there is any other person that has something to say, or should I go ahead?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm at now 6.6. Last page 8. 6.6. Oh, thank you, brother. 6.6. I also see there ensure access to comprehensive health service. So we should expunge that and replace it with adequate. 6.6, bullet number 1. First bullet, no, last page, page 8. Yes, 6.6. No, health and reproductive rights. That comprehensive should. Yes, adequate. Then my further observation is that we've been saying that we should ensure, we should establish, we should compile reports and all that, but we don't have any unit of faculty assigned with the role. There is no unit of faculty here. I think it should be contained. Either in the manual we used last time, there is a place we said either gender or student affairs should be in charge. So we should make an institution or unit to be in charge so that they will adequately ensure, compile, and do all the necessary things about the gender policy. The center. We are saying that is not contained here. Okay, the institution. The
members jump from the gender, the student affairs, the student.
that means, is it to go in form of a committee? Ah. Okay. Okay.
Ethics committee too. University's ethics committee too.
The social work people should be involved. That's what I say. The committee will the stakeholders in gender issues, the gender office itself, the counseling unit, student affairs, the health people, the lawyers, the ethics committee, yeah, quality assurance. They are so that it's university wide. Father, forgive me. Yes, admin.
Are they congratulating you?
Student body. Student body.
SUG.
No, student affairs. The student governing body.
That means we should remove student affairs.
Then we have an existing committee, sexual harassment committee.
Postgraduate too. So graduate students.
Yes.
Hello. I was thinking aloud on saying establishing a gender desk at the faculty level. Desk at the faculty level. If we could capture it, to have a gender desk at the faculty level.
Exactly. Why the dichotomy? All human beings now should be the rules inequality affecting you.
No, the gender is inclusive. It's inclusive. Yeah.
What the women's role, responses and the men's responses. I think that's why I came here, as you mentioned that. So at least let's appreciate what we expressed. So if we are aware that there is a responsibility for a particular unit, then we should do the needful. The suggestion boxes are not being used. They're not being used by anybody because we feel nothing will happen. Again, because no one is held accountable. So let's sensitize, let's keep talking about it. I think that's just, so I think Savicom can handle that desk you're talking about. Because creating different boxes, wake them up, wake the sleeping giant up. We bite them. So QAQC, I think, is the overarching.
The system that wasn't working before, you want to add more to them. Okay.
If we now create a new unit, will it make a difference? Making them work. It's QAQC, yes.
Their staff.
You don't have staff,
They are not
so.
working.
That's
No,
the
they are
thing.
the reps in the departments
Faculties.
of they are not working. That's the problem. It's still the same QA and QC.
Is the counseling unit part of the implementation committee?
Yes.
They are the same holders.
And if they are there, like this,
No gender desk, Abi.
No, this subject decision committee will trickle into facts.
What did you call them again? Counseling?
Where will that be the reporting points at the faculty? Okay, you should report to Savicom. Is Savicom going to be a project implementation committee member? Okay,
Quality assurance and quality control. It's a director institution. And they have desk officers at the various faculties and departments. It's just that they're not working. It's only a grant, it's only that evaluation sheet. The lecturer collect money. That's all they have to collect. And then on the day of the
Sorry, I have something to say.
When they come, I say, Madam, I close this one, just leave them. They say, Madam, because I just see them during lectures. In fact, if you don't feel the lecture,
Okay, sorry, I have a question. It's been bothering. My name is Odia. Okay, Kanayo. It's been bothering me. The counseling unit. Did we say anything about confidentiality? It's very important. I get a lot of students coming to cry to me that they can't go. I send them to counseling units as I let them go and talk to a counselor, because sometimes it looks as if they are traumatized and they cannot go to anybody. I don't know why they always come to me anyway. And then the person, there was one that actually made me cry. She was like, the secrets she told the counselor, that they called her for a meeting, and lo and behold, the person she's reporting about
The
was
person
called
should,
in that
she
meeting.
should be
I mean,
sued and
that is lack
convicted.
I don't even know what to say.
Is it
And-
doctor there?
Yes,
You are doctor there.
yes, I am. Can I your audio?
You see, that the problem we have here is a high level of ignorance.
I was
For
pissed.
anybody in health practice and in counseling unit, somebody divulges any information to you and you give it out, you are liable.
I believe
they
she
convict you.
wasn't trained. The person.
Yes, serves.
Yes, we know the person is liable. Yes. But that student, I told you of the case in our faculty.
Yes, you told me.
He did like this. I asked her, just talking, where are you going? This is not better. I said, "Oh,
That didn't used to.
you don't have leg to keep this.
Sometimes.
You didn't shout in the hostel. You couldn't scream. Come on. So sometimes the ignorance, you have said that.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
problem.
Know their rights. Know that they can report.
She was even afraid to even
Professor
report.
Professor Adesope, see,
She
what
hides
she has
under the
said,
laboratory
she has
desk
said
to
that this
receive
girl
lecture so that the male
had
lecturer
gone
will
to
not see her.
reported to a counselor who gave her that information. That's an officer now. No, that's an officer. That officer who. That's what we're saying. If that girl had brought that matter to me, I'll go and meet the guy. Is it Mrs. Soto? Is it Dr. Ekechukwu, Professor Ekechukwu? I will tell them now, say, we don't go wear one trouser. Now, legal matter. They will go, in fact, they will pay heavily. In health practice, you don't give out any information to the next officer. To the next officer who is taking care of that patient. I say you don't give out that information. Now, a student that is traumatized comes to well, I don't know if they are counselors, because I said here the other day we have 2 units of counseling units. One is academic, one is, I don't know what that one is. So, which group did the girl go to?
I didn't even ask her the
all
one
right.
she went to.
So,
I was so angry that I didn't want to know who did that and
all
why
right,
will they.
that's what I'm saying. It's part of what we are talking here. If that girl takes up that matter, that staff will visit ethics committee, because it's a breach. Yes, for her of the girl's right, it's a breach of her responsibility. She will face ethics committee, and they in fact, they will have to deal with her heavily. So our problem is this ignorance both ways, ourselves and our students, and it's like it's worse these days. I don't know what parents teach their children. By 11 something, I was woken up by my child to tell me, "Oh, mom, my result is out." You understand? Some would have kept it till this morning, because she knows if she kept it till this morning before I wake up and I get the info, there will be trouble. There will be trouble, because yes, we have all been pregnant waiting for this. So what parents do with their children, I can't vouch for families, but I think we have a lot of problems at home. We have a lot of problems.
One of the ways of further sensitizing, I think pamphlets, as we do. Yeah, I'm talking of the centers or whatever units. Even the same counseling unit. Have you seen any flyer from them? I don't know if you have. So, again, during orientation, because it's at that point they should share flyers to as many persons as possible to mention these rights. That's another thing. So, but we still have to do the needful.
If you come to law faculty, we have FIDA, Uniport chapter. That is student base. You can. I don't want to say you can use them. You can work with them. You can, because they used to do a lot of sensitizations. If you Okay. You said? Okay, we have FIDA Uniport chapter. You know, FIDA used to go to universities to establish chapters, and they used to have gender desk. If you come to law faculty, there are a lot of gender issues. ICTC. Okay. 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 The school is aware. Oh.
Well, now you see how interesting this bit is. It's still part of what I have been saying. The personalization of actions and activities by different units is not making us get what you call robust results. Those in, but what I'm FIDA River State chapter, they know we exist. But FIDA Uniport does not know that Center for Gender exists. And when people meet your students and ask them about that center, they will claim very serious ignorance. But that's where they study every day. So sometimes somebody will go to your faculty and say, please show us where the gender center is. They say, who is that? Yeah, favor, doing anything about me? Thank you. So that confirms what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know you are there, but the vice president's office, student union, we work with them. We even had an event in your faculty. Is that February? Yes, this year we had an event, and it was very nice. Your associate dean was one of the speakers. No, you are not the one. There was another lawyer she came with. What's her name now? Bobo, yes.
I was invited, but I was not.
Fine, that's what.
I told them, why did they not inform the student chapter?
We're not saying that we don't know about your unit. We know about the state chapter. We know about Awala, but we don't know about you. Eh? What do I call him? I call him Awala. Exactly. So please help us to ensure that our work are effective. Don't personalize our work. When you get some information, let us know. We come to somebody's aid. Like what we are, but for this workshop, I didn't know that a student was raped in their faculty and continuously harassing the students. We didn't know. You understand? So please help us to make this gender.
It was not once.
Eh?
That incident was not once.
Oh.
The perpetrator had one funny attitude to the whole thing. Was harassing the girls.
Hello. I think the committee we talked about, did we give it a name? Project Implementation Committee, right? Okay. Gender Enforcement Implementation. Oh, okay, Gender Enforcement Committee. Gender Enforcement Committee, right? You know, we have to personalize these documents. So, Gender Policy Enforcement Committee. Implementation Committee. Then what to number it? I think someone suggested it should be numbered 6.91. I disagree with that, because 6.9 is already having a subheading, which is establishment quotas to ensure equitable leadership roles within the university. So they are not related, and it shouldn't come. I think it should be independent. Yes, it should be 9. No, it shouldn't be 10. 10 will not be conclusion. No, not 6.10. It will be a sub number on its own, because no, it's not. It's supposed to come last after the review and revision. Yes, before conclusion, because remember, the committee will now, there will be a statement that this committee shall comprise of the following. You now list those units that we mentioned.
Then 6 is supposed to be guiding principles, but the 5 was repeated. I said there's a typographical error in the numbering. Yeah, the 5. Six, yes.
Yes.
Monitoring will not be the 8th one.
Okay.
Monitoring will be 8. Review will be 9. Gender policy implementation will be 10.
I don't. Where did the error in numbering came? Guiding principle is 5.
It's on page 2.
Okay.
Sorry, it's on page 2, yes. Definition of 10. Repeating again on page 6. Guiding principle 5.
Okay.
So page 6, guiding principles will now be 6.
6.
Then page 7, implementation strategies will be 7. I will number the others. Then on page 8, monitoring and evaluation will be 8. Review will be 9. Then the new one, gender policy implementation committee, will be 10.
Okay.
But somebody observed that definition of term should be at the end.
Wherever it can just be moved back.
Okay, so I will just adjust that.
6.1.
6.9. Is it not supposed to go with the 6.1?
Establish quotas to ensure a minimum. Yes, so.
It's a strategy.
No, 6.1 is still it's still a strategy. Yes, yes, it should go together.
Okay, just the percentage that you have added there.
It should go together.
No. Bro, sir, I was thinking, now we've talked so much about this, the aspect of budgets, how do we get all this done?
This is public service. There are certain things you can't manage. So the committee should be able to manage such by interfacing with the management. We cannot specify anything for the university. You know, we are supposed to have a staff development policy with budget, but there's nothing like that. We had an issue some years back. You know, one of the reasons why we initiated the 10% thing for grants that we attract to the university was to manage some of these small things. There are times our staff are sent out of the university on fellowship, and then the MOU specifies and stipulates that the university should give some stipends, and then the management asks from where. They should take their salary. On one occasion, I asked the VC, an assistant lecturer earning 100 and something to live in Malawi or in, how much? He said, what do we do? So we have to lobby. That's what we do. So now, the reason why that 10% came was, actually we could pick something from there and give. How much? $100 per month, $200, which is still nothing. So meanwhile, their counterparts in other universities on the same fellowships are getting $1,000 every month, and you're getting a paltry $100. I always appeal to them, please, this should not come out. Know that the worst that will happen, they'll say, you can't go. We beg them. So somebody almost exposed us. I say, yeah, the university will just say, come back. So the opportunity is that you're on fellowship. The only difference is that the university is not giving you some stipends, except you don't want to do the PhD again. So we have to plead with them behind the scene. Just manage what you are seeing. Don't compare Nigeria with those other countries. It's unfortunate. So the issue of budget, we cannot specify or stipulate anything there. We have to be frank, because at the end of the day, they will now call us. Now that you have, where are you going to get the money from? So that's the thing. We do a lot of lobbying. Many of these centers help us.
That's why you see like last year, this year that ended. He just told us, he said it at the, I think that was congregation. He said, thank all the center directors. That was how you got the rice. So he was open about it. So we do a lot of fund drive on our own. Carry car, I want to do International Women's Day. Madam, hey, okay. That's what we do, and we do it. Then they will not send committee. They come and ask us, who are your partners? So that they did you get? So these are the kind of things that we are talking about. So please just seal your mouth. This one, I hope I'm in safe space. So media men. Okay.
Let me also add, this many of us here are mid and early career staff. You know, could attend like 4 or 5 conferences in a year. My salary was barely 3,000 naira, but I was attending conferences. I sometimes borrow. But you see, when you move, you network, you make friends, you meet people who tell you where to get things. And that has helped me a lot. I moved to Futo. Nobody funded me for 1 day. But I published like almost 30 papers before I left Futo. I attended close to 15 conferences before I left Futo for this place. The networking helped me a great deal. Then when I came here, the same thing. Until they now dragged me to one of the centers and kept me there. Maybe this man travels a lot. It wasn't university that was doing it. Networks. I could travel every other week. I was out of the country. I was on projects, and they fund my trips, everything. Could I have funded it from my pocket? No. So please, when I teach research methods, some of these things I tell my students, a few of them key into it, so some of them benefit from it. So the way I teach research methods is not like the way others teach it. Understand that you could network, you could get travel grants. Some persons don't even have international passports. They don't have yellow card. So how do you start? Where do you start from? You don't have to be an academic staff. I know somebody when I was at the Center for Research, somebody in Bursary, who got £5,000. Yes, £5,000. I think it was in Ghana for 1 full month. So you have to sit at the computer and search for. There are so many. There is Author Age. There is WARA. There's WARIMA. There is ACU, Association of Commonwealth Universities. There is AAU, Association of African Universities. All of this, the University of Port Harcourt is a partner to them. We pay $3,000, though sometimes we owe. $3,000 to each of them. I think Ruforum we pay $5,000. We've been owing, but they've been magnanimous. So for the fact that we are paying those subscriptions, you as a staff, as a graduate student, you have the opportunity to leverage on their platforms. Go to those platforms, be on their mailing lists. You don't pay any money for that. When I tell people go and register, they always say, how much? Go there first. Nobody asks you for any money. Just register. And they keep sending you calls. For ACU, they send, I'm an ACU, well, I'm the ACU champion. Now, they send the calendar. When I was in Serema, that was why I was sending all those calls. We remember there was a time, okay, maybe many of you were not here then, we requested for emails, phone numbers of all staff. Because we discovered that when we send calls to deans and HODs, they don't trickle down to the real persons. So we got staff details ourselves. Joyce is here. She was my staff there. She was the desk officer. And Ms. Rosemary Ochoma. These things get straight to the staff. While we send to the dean, the staff gets it. And they besiege our offices and these calls. So take advantage of these things. They are there. You don't need to pay any money. The university is already paying something. So you can take advantage of that. And you get, for instance, the ACU, there's a call on now, gender call. It's £2,000. There's another one, £10,000 for those of you in human resources. There's a third one, I can't remember now. The call is just out, and it's going to end, I think, 4th of May. I was trying to write something, I thought it's this week, but I discovered it's middle of May or so. So leverage on them. Deliberately look for these things. So you don't have to stress yourself whether university funds you or doesn't fund you. Even sometimes, the first conference I attended in Mombasa, my salary was 80,000 then. I had to pay 130,000 naira the airfare myself. I pleaded with the university to even give me 50%. Till today, they didn't give me. I didn't bother. I still traveled. Obviously, because the $405 conference fee was waived. There are some conferences, if you search very well, there are grants for you. And for our female folks, I've said it very soon, you people push us to another planet. When you're a woman, they put a star on you. If there are four persons and one is a woman, they'll give her. Go and look at the SDG. People are following it to the letter. And many of you are not taking advantage of it. Dr. Ifeanyi Obi was here. She's 1 star in the university. She hasn't spent up to 15 years here. Okay, about that. But there's no year she does not get at least 2 grants. She doesn't have 2 heads. At least many of them from my faculty. So leverage on these things. You don't need anybody to, there's no big deal about it. Just try. Don't give up. Don't say, I don't know what to do. And now we are in the AI world. We're not saying you should copy and paste though. It can guide you a lot. You can work faster with those stuff, but do your due diligence and you go far. So please, let's take advantage of these things so that we can help ourselves and move on. Thank you.
All right. Somebody here? Please, go ahead.
I want to appreciate those who found time to put all these things together. But that notwithstanding, I want to point out some things I observed. For instance, the preamble, I think is a bit lengthy, so we need to summarize it. And then the objectives, some of them need to be merged, like these last 2 objectives. I don't know if it's been pointed out because I came a bit late. And then for definition of terms, I don't know if observations were made in this. Okay, there were observations. Okay, that they are too lengthy. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Sorry, just because I came late. I think that's the price I'm paying for that.
Good afternoon, all. Andrew Peribine is my name. I don't know if I also fall into our own Doc or Prof's trial because I came a bit late. Yeah. In implementation strategy, I don't know if it's been talked about. Establish quotas to ensure a minimum percentage of women in leadership roles within the university. Establish quotas to ensure a minimum percentage of women in leadership roles within the university. Yes. 40%. Okay, I thought on Tuesday we talked about on the represented agenda. Yes. So is it affected here or just women? Because yes, underrepresented in the, yes. All right. Yeah. All right. I want to thank the committee that did this job. Well done to them.
We have done the needful. I want to appreciate you again for this. So, Sure. So after that, we'll close officially. We will have so we'll do that. Okay. Certificates. Okay.
Okay, you want me to do it?
Close down. He can issue certificates. There are 60.
Yes, is this 60 or 60 something?
That's 60.
Okay.
Maybe if it's not, I will do more.
Don't worry. That's what we will share if you won't do it all. Well, respected ladies and gentlemen, it's your zeal that is actually making me happy. Based on what's going on in our country, we just think that anything goes. But just seeing this number of persons on a day like today in Nigeria, a very religious country, I give you kudos. Yeah, I give you kudos. I'm very proud of you. Well, at this point, I think that we have almost come to an end of this project or activity. I want somebody to move that this document should be accepted by us as a working document. We are going to do some much more input to it, but this is a very good guide. It's going to help us in our work. So let somebody do that and another person support. Well, is it Henry's hand?
Yes, please, before the adoption of the document, I want to just say something in addition to what you said, and my lecturer also said about FIDA in the Faculty of Law and the rest of them. I want to say and to let the university understand that we have the Faculty of Law. A lot of lecturers, with all due respect, do not really understand that the Faculty of Law is now running very well. A lot of them. Some think they still have diploma programs, but a whole lot is happening. And yes, and the previous day, Prof was talking about the next person who is going to be in this Gender Center of Director must have passion. If you don't have passion, don't go there. And I think, I don't want to sound like somebody who is coming here to promote his faculty. The Faculty of Law, we have some lecturers who understand the law, who understand how the law can be used to address this issue in such a way that the faculty will not, the university will not run into trouble. Because if your passion to make this thing work is not done within the ambit of the law, you might bring problem to the university. You might bring litigation, but which is not intended. You didn't intend it. You've seen somebody who has done something, you are naming and shaming, but you don't understand that doing that, you are infringing on the law. So if we have somebody, when the time comes, please, those of you who have been elected, congratulations to you. I want to also appeal that as you make your suggestions and programs, the faculty of law should be part of your handbag so as you'll be guided in a way. Thank you so much.
Advocacy of law faculty, I want to thank you very much for that observation, but I also want to make a comment. It is not about university-wide or the community not knowing about the law faculty. Your students you and your students are so detached from the University of Port Harcourt activities. You're so detached. It's the same thing with the college. But I tell you, it's the same thing with the college. You don't know what we are doing, and we carry the brunt of the university for your sake. And then let me tell you, just this bit. It may not record there. I had a reason to be in your faculty, and I tell you, the kind of reception I had was very disrespectful. And I told the person, do you also know that I'm a professor? I didn't earn it. That is, I didn't pay for it. I worked for it. So I earned for it. In fact, these days I no longer stay late too. See these eyes, I no longer stay late. What I do now is that by the time it's 6 p.m., I shut down academic work. 7 p.m., I go to Nollywood and laugh till 10 p.m., I go and sleep. Yes, because the eyes are bad. You understand? Yes, my mental health, the eyes are also bad. So while you are encouraging us to recommend you to university community, please remember that we exist. I tell you that your students 247, they are in my center's hall, and somebody will ask them, where is Center for Gender? They say, is there anything like that in this place? It's the same thing. Go to college and ask them, is there anything like Center for Gender? They say, is there anything like that? Please, the university, don't just pass through the university. Let the university also pass through you. Yeah, even though you have, like I used to tell my children, I said, those who call themselves professionals. Yeah, no. Those who call themselves professionals, you know, when you go to college and the law, they think they are professionals, others are not. They have a very negative way of dealing with others. Entrance is very difficult. Exit is very difficult. Because when you get into their circle, they try to drill you until you say, Baba God, where you dey? So, and I remember I was given an opportunity to go and teach sociology of medicine to medical students, public health, you know. By the time I finished with them, they said, look for that woman, look for that woman. Because you don't deal with tools without the human aspects. By the time I finished that course, they will always tell them, go and look for that woman. They will come and look for me. I said, I know they can't teach doctors. You people are too arrogant. They will say, hey, she don't come. What are we trying to, it's on a lighter note, but what I'm trying to say is that you should also know that others exist. Now, these things we are talking about, how can we have lawyers and this thing they are reporting is existing? Shouldn't exist. Our students should know. Are you part of Student Union University of Port Harcourt? Lawyer. Wait, I not ask you, teacher. How? So, Dr. Ifeoma, you're giving me trouble here. Yes. Can we have one house?
Can the Department of Finance or department be chief judge of the state of the camp? And he said yes, he understands that, yes, but since we are just coming in, it will take time for us to come in. So we are participating.
Certainly.
We are participating in all these things. But as you said, ma, our workload is so much that there's a point when our dean told us to please remember why we are here. Why we, if you are not strong academically, so you don't fail out, watch it. So a whole lot of us are very careful, but I give it to a whole lot of them. They are coming out.
That's what,
yes, ma'am.
Now,
but for me, because of my age, I don't think I should be joining them to be doing the SCG politics. Yes, ma'am.
You can no. You can belong to the advisory committee.
Yeah, because when I was here in 2007, I did a bit of it, and I said, now coming second time, my mates are in the House of Assembly, okay. House of Reps. I shouldn't be doing this with these ones. So if I observe things, I tell the Lausanne president, the SROC, that do these things. Should be this way. That should be. And I think, yes, with time, we will do better. Ma, thank you so much for your observation, ma.
All right. You see, that's why we are teachers. We interact with a lot of people. I tell, in fact, when you go to engineers, they don't even know that human beings exist. They are looking for screwdriver. They are looking for. I say human being is not screwdriver. So that's why I said that's how the professionals, those who call themselves professionals, they organize their program in such a way that their students are antisocial. You don't know what we're talking about. When we say rock now, you go see trouble. We attended the wedding. Let me tell you one story. We attended the wedding 2 Decembers ago. It was a lawyer who was married. Drama won't die for laugh. Well, oh boy, they dance like, oh boy, what happened? He did not dance. And when they rock, they were just the woman was, and all of us were saying, what is this trouble? Because you see, we all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. We are professionals. We are all professionals at different places and spaces. But don't think that your own is. So that is the problem we have. College, see, Madam Nadia start they don't socialize. Law, they don't socialize. Fortunately, my husband is an engineer. So when he comes, boy, where your jeans? Stay one corner. Let me follow that woman, and then say, hey, trouble. So you are at different worlds, but we are talking about the same thing. So your observation is good, and while you've been here, your contributions were very commendable. Continue to play the advisory role. Now, the chief judge of the university, the student union, cannot come from your faculty, because when they say 12 midnight, this is dean, waiting bestow is calling you to come and do something, you will go. You have to obey the superior law. That's what people do. You are like the military, obey the. Yes, so I understand. But but try and see how you can integrate. It makes you a robust student. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that observation. So who is? All right. Wait, there was one person who raised her hand before you, Dr. Ifoma. Prof, is it you? Yes. Prof, you came. No, is the female. Don't worry. She's been in the meeting. We'll give it to one woman, one man. So, Prof, take it. Yes, take it now. Give her the mic. Then there's a man. Is it Choma? Choma never said anything all through this program. Choma, you never said anything, and you're going to be. You want to have the mic. I can protest too. Huh? Prof, go ahead.
All right, thank you so very much. I still under the spirit of adoption of the gender policy. I want to sincerely appreciate this team for finding some of us worthy to participate. Of all the 1,000 and how many university staff, staff of this university, thank you so very much. We cannot take it for granted. Then, on that note, I, Professor Adana Henry-Okoha, move that this document be used as a working document for the development of or shaping the gender responsive policies in the University of Port Harcourt. Thank you very much.
So give it to Chioma. Chioma, I didn't hear you talk.
Thank you, ma. I allowed some persons to make a meaningful contribution.
Why didn't you do this?
Thank you, ma. In supporting our amiable professor in seconding this motion, I want to sincerely thank the organizers for deeming it fit to choose, one small boy like me to be part of this committee. And kudos to my mentor, Professor Adesope, for finding me worthy, to represent my own constituency in this policy making.
What's your constituency?
My constituency is the activism constituency.
No.
Thank you.
Wait, it doesn't belong anywhere, no. No.
I'm a technical staff of the university.
Okay, what
Thank you, ma'am.
What
I'm a technologist in the mechanical engineering department.
they're carrying tools. You were here and they're carrying tools.
Like you said, tools, and for me, I try to, diverse a little from your own.
Okay.
Because as a comrade, we consider human beings first before the tools. That's why I like the title, people addressing me as a comrade, rather than calling me an engineer. Thank you very much, ma'am. So having said so, ma'am, this policy or document should just go beyond male, female genders, but also cut across professionals, like you rightly said, because we also have disparity among professionals. So this also should bring them, making them see all of us as equals, being created by the Supreme Being. Having said so, I want to second the motion that this document, as proposed by or enacted by the Gender Policy Committee in this University of Port Harcourt, that this document should be valid and be used as a working document. I so support.
I agree that.
Thank you very much.
I agree that you are a comrade. I can see that. Okay. Thank you very much. At this point, I think we will have to do the certification, and that's where our partner from UK comes in. Doug, we want you on behalf of all of us. We want you on behalf of all of us to help us present these certificates at any point where you feel you're tired or you need assistance. We're here, but I'm sure you would have eaten a lot of bole, eaten a lot of apple, eating a lot of gari, so yeah, you can't be tired. So you can just read it out, okay? Welcome amongst us. Thank you very much. Yes, let's have the list. Well, whether you this okay, has to fix the name. Please, let's have the list. Okay. Yeah, they will do it themselves. All right. Now, when you get this is a sample of the certificate. When you get it, you'll be able to use the artistic hand in ascribing your name. Okay? Thank you. You want the camera? Ketioya, who is doing the videoing? He wants. All right. Okay. Is one also here? One also Chile Miriam, are you here?
Sir, I want to chip in one thing.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's on.
Yeah, you can do video. So yeah. Yeah. So hello everyone. Yeah, we are very grateful that we've come to this point in this project. Yeah, I'm very, very happy. And today is very, very important. Around what we are trying to achieve. So, a few things I want to say here is that, as I have always said, the policy is not just for the sake of it. The policy is for its implementation. And it is the duty of everyone. Yesterday I said that it is my responsibility as your partner to work collaboratively with the management to ensure that this policy is implemented. But at the same time, I want to say that it is a collective call for everyone. Gender equality we are talking about today is nothing less than change of attitude towards one another. And that you see in our day-to-day interaction with our colleagues, interaction with our students, and our general attitude towards how we engage with our work. So that is what I see here. It is not a call for conflict. It is not a call for striving against one another. But it is a call for ensuring that we tap into our potentials and see ourselves achieving what we are inherently meant to achieve, breaking those barriers that hinder us from achieving our collective goals as individuals, irrespective of gender. Using my family as a case study, I don't have a gender, we don't have any gender arrangement in my family. To be fair, and apologies to my male friends here, I serve my wife breakfast in the bed. I was telling Prof yesterday, and she does that if she's able. I sweep the house. I wash plates. There's nothing I don't do in my own private house. And I even pity my wife, in most cases, leaving her parents' house and joining me. So, I put myself in her position. And that would make me to support her the more. Because for me, she is contributing more than myself, who is just on my own and she joins me. So in similar manner, we've got our characteristics as male and female, we've got our attributes, but the idea here is that we need to work within those attributes that God has made us to achieve our collective aim. What is collective aim here? That this policy will help us achieve our individual goals, attain our highest potentials, and that is what we are clamoring for, and that is what we are working towards to achieve. Then, since we agree that this project is not ending with this paper or this certification, there are indicators that will show that we are making progress. That is the what do you call it? We need to monitor. That is the monitoring aspect. The monitoring aspect of the project. We need to see changes. So what are the likely changes? We want to see the female gender contesting for VC position. Yeah, we want to see the female gender competing. Yeah, becoming the cost rep, becoming the SUG president. Yeah. So these are the indicators to show that there are changes, and we need to monitor that. That is part of this project. I'm happy to say that in Bournemouth University currently, we've got a female SUG president. from Nigeria. And she has got about 2 or 3 or 4 vice presidents, combining male and female gender, but she was there last year and she won again. So, I want us to see such happening in Uniport, and that will now give us that, that hope that this policy is working. So, yeah, so I want to stop it here. Thank you very much.
Well, let me just add to this. As a student advisor in my department, I produced 2 female presidents, departmental presidents. At the faculty, I had also produced 2. So it's up to you, the academic staff. Yeah, when you come say, I want to be vice, I say, get out of my office and come back and tell me you want to be the president. I will support you. They will say, hey, ma, don't come. Oh. They will go back. Those that are confident, they will come back and will start. And they had won, and they were very good leaders. They were very good leaders. Please encourage the females. Let us not shy away. The last project we did, now you were around when they were talking, when will the woman, let the women come out to there as vice chancellor. Let us know that you don't have money or you don't have supporters. It's not to say at the back, when will women become vice chancellor? Nobody will give you chance to occupy any position. You get to strive for it. Please. So thank you very much.
Let me just add this quickly. I used to be the president of Enugu State Amalgamated Youth Imo State. Then how did it happen? Before then, I was the financial secretary. Then we were approaching a transition, and one of the members said, Chair, I want you to go and contest for the president. I said, no. I'm not too capable to lead a whole state youth. He said he will continue disturbing me until I change my mind. I said, okay, I guarantee you fail. So I go home. I told my wife, do you know what happened today? They said, well, I said, one of our members, one stupid boy said that I should contest for the president of our organization, including professionals, roadside mechanics, and all other professions. My wife looked at me and said, if you don't want to become the president, I want to be the wife of the president. So yeah, I left with no support to decline the offer. Say, is that what you say? Say, yes, okay, that's fine. I contested and I won. So yeah, so in all fairness, we need to tap into our capabilities. So that is the message here. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. The first on this list is it Efenakbo Ogaga Dean? In fact, he came into my limelight yesterday. He's a very amazing young man, and I hope he's full of energy like I see him here. All right, please keep that paper. This is a very formal action. All right, thank you very much. Okay. Okay. Is that true? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Ogaga. In fact, you have to be visiting my office